Hi everybody, welcome to my driving video of this Dodge Stratus today. This is a 2006 Dodge Stratus SXT, bright silver metallic. Just giving you a quick look at the outside of what we're going to drive. I'm going to tell you more and more about this car as we drive it, and if you want to see more and more details of the outside, the inside, under the hood, and every which way, you can check out my walk around video of this car on my channel, separately from this video. Thanks for joining. Thanks for looking. We're going to drive this on some city streets and freeway streets. And if you're ready, here we go. This is a 4-cylinder, 2.4 liter. And it has probably, maybe, you never know, maybe the lowest mileage in existence. 73,000 miles on this car. That's right. 73,337. Take a look. Yes, extremely low mileage. It runs and drives very nicely, as you're about to see and witness. We're gonna go on some city and freeway streets. Runs nice, shifts nice, drives nice. Just a nice car for the money. Under $4,000 for this car. I think it's a lot of value. Has a lot of new parts I'll tell you about here along our way, along our journey, and has clean Carfax, clean history. This car was purchased in 2010 when it was only 4 years old. And the first couple of owners in the first 4 years had put 46,000 miles. So they had put the bulk of the miles in the first few years. And as of late and recently, from that point until current, from 2010 to 2024, only 27,000 additional miles have been added. So from 46 to 73 in 14 years. Not a lot of mileage. And on the average, if you average out these miles, you should come up to about 4,000 miles per year, which is crazy, crazy low, and certainly well under any average that you may use. Everybody has a different opinion about what's average and what's, what's, I don't know if that road's open yet or not. No outlet. Maybe not. We'll go this way. But anyway, it's low. If you use 12,000 miles a year as your average, it's a third of that. If you use 15,000 miles, it's even less than that. Hey, Christmas tree. So low miles. If you watch my walk around video, you'll see that it does have some flaws on the exterior. But for the price, how can you complain? It's mechanically sound and has many new parts. Lay my seat back a little more. There we go. You can get a little better perspective. Many new parts. A beautiful and clean and nice interior. Runs and drives nice. And for the price, I don't think it's a bad deal at all. So over some of these bigger bumps here, right there, the only flaw, drivability wise, or whatever, however you want to call it, the front struts have a little bit of noise going over some larger bumps. I talked about this on the walk around video. They are not bad. They are not blown out. They are not going to fall out. They do not need immediate replacement. They do not need anything. It's just that I want to make it known that they do make a little noise over some bigger or more aggressive bumps. It's just kind of a creaky sound, and they are not bad and they do not need to be replaced, but it's just something to note. So, doesn't affect the way it drives, doesn't affect the alignment, has a nice straight alignment because it just had one not long ago. So, let me begin to tell you about some of those new parts as we drive here, and then we're going to go up here a little ways and turn around and come back. It has new front tires and alignment. Rear tires have 75% or better remaining, but the front two tires are new, matching Goodyear's. It has a new battery, and the battery terminal ends were replaced at the same time. Well, they're not just terminal ends, but they're like short cables on this car. So those were replaced as well, which is a good thing because the battery is a little more difficult to get to on this car. So it's new. Alternator is also new. Power steering rack and the power steering fluid reservoir is new. I went a little further than I meant to go. The muffler, resonator, and exhaust, the exhaust muffler and resonator are new and replaced. Okay, we're just going to go up here to a roundabout and go around the roundabout and come back on down, rather than the way I was going to go, because I get to talking and then I forgot. What else? The brakes have more than 50% remaining, front and rear, so they've got a lot of life left. And it also has new wheel cylinders and new brake hoses on all four wheels, front and rear, and new brake fluid and a fresh oil change. So, right? That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff done recently that you don't have to worry about, that makes this car an even better value for under $4,000. I'm going to keep saying that because look at how nicely it drives. Look how nicely it shifts. Listen to how quiet it is. Overall, even on these bumpy roads, you barely hear those struts, but I wanted to make it known. But here we are at 50 miles an hour. It's nice, it's quiet. I mentioned on the walk-around video the seats, but especially this driver's side seat, very firm, very supportive, very just very comfortable, very nice seat. I like it. I like it a lot. I also mentioned and talked about how the material in this generation Dodge Chrysler cars was really, really strong and held up very, very well. This is the way that I meant to go, so we're just going to kind of cut through here and come back out. But I like to show a variety of speeds and roads and pavement types. So this is very smooth, nice pavement, because this is high dollar rent right here. I like these trees on the street, they're so symmetric. Yeah, so a lot of new parts, less for you to need to worry about or concern yourself with, and all the more that makes for such an awesome value on this car. All that stuff, everything I just said: battery cable terminal ends, alternator, power steering rack and reservoir, front tires, alignment, brake hoses, wheel cylinders, brake fluid, oil change. I mean, it goes on and on and on. The muffler and resonator, alignment, you know, lots and lots of stuff, lots of good stuff. So car has two keys. They're right here in the ignition. Did I already say? Clean Carfax. 3 total owners, but the most recent owner from the longest period of time, from what I already said, 2010 with 46,000 miles to 2024 with the current miles. Long time owners is good. Whether the car has low mileage or high mileage, long-term ownership is very good. Why? The obvious reason why. Because when someone plans to or intends to keep something for a long time, what are they going to do? They're going to take care of it. People that get their cars repossessed, I mean, as unfortunate as that is for a variety of reasons, they're not going to take care of those cars. they know that somebody's going to come and get it sooner or later. They're not going to take care of it. They're going to drive it until someone comes and gets it, and they're going to keep $5 worth of gas in it at the time, at all times, and they're never going to change the oil, and that's that. So I don't mean to make fun of anybody or anything like that. Just making a point that when your intentions are to keep the car and own it and make it reliable for you and your driving, you're certainly going to take care of it. So we're gonna make our way towards the freeway and go out on the freeway for a few miles, down and back as well. So keep riding along. Fast forward if you like to get to the freeway segment. If you like video so far and you like my videos, you like what I do, give a thumbs up, ring the bell, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate that. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your views, your comments, your thoughts, your suggestions, whatever you'd like to offer. Appreciate it very much. If you have a comment or you have a comment about one of these that you own or have owned, I get that a lot of times, share it in the comment section. If you've owned one of these Stratuses or a similar Dodge vehicle with a similar engine and yours has 300,000 miles and it's been one of the better cars you've ever owned, then say something and share your experience with other viewers. I appreciate that, and I know they do as well. And if my video helps you in a way to purchase one of these cars, I appreciate hearing about that as well. If my video helps you and you live in another state, another town, another land, another country, and it helps you in whatever way, I like hearing about it. So please feel free to leave your comments. And if you have a question, I will try my best to answer you as well. See right there, over that kind of hump in the road, you heard like a creak creak. That's that strut. But again, overall, car has a great ride. It's not affecting anything, just a little noisy. I think this would be a great car for a first-time driver or a young driver. Why do I say that? Well, it's cheap, inexpensive, number one. Also, for an older person, I often put, the young driver and the old driver in the same bucket or group of people. It's inexpensive. It's a low cost of ownership and maintenance and upkeep. It already has a few flaws on the body, a few marks here and there, so a few more aren't going to hurt it. And drivability wise, it's a nice size car. It's very manageable size to drive and to negotiate and pull into a parking spot and back out of a parking spot and all those things. It's easy to see out of, It's easy to see out of. It's easy to drive. It's good on gas, 30 miles to the gallon on the freeway. And the size is really the most important thing. The size is very manageable, very easy. Dashboard's low. It's easy to see out of the front. I mean, it looks like I'm pretty close to that CRV, but I'm an experienced driver, and I know that I'm probably about 18 inches to 2 feet away from that CRV with its Christmas tree. It's very easy to see the size of the car and get familiar with it, at least I think. And then the other thing that I think that's important for first-time drivers is simple. So The controls in this car are very simple. The radio, you know, I know everybody doesn't want people screwing around with the radio, but the radio is easy to use and right there. The climate control is very easy to use, these big knobs, and right there. There's not a whole lot else going on here. And you know, cruise controls on the steering wheel, the lights easy to turn on right there. You know, just simple and easy. Simple gets it done. Simple wins the race. The other thing that I mentioned on the walk around video, and I'll go ahead and say that as well right now, the gauges have these white faces, right? These are called white face gauges. Don't worry, I'm looking out front, but I'm gonna show you up close here. So you see the white face gauges. Now, in the automotive industry, it's always been regarded when car has white face gauges to be like sporty, or, you know, more sport oriented, which is fine. And this car is no sports car and no race car. This is an economical and sensible car. But what's interesting about the white face gauges is with that very contrast background, it makes it really easy to see the numbers quickly. You know, combined with the bright orange needles, I actually think more cars should be like this, and there are other cars like this, but it's just very easy to quickly look and see the big numbers, see what speed you're at, you know, the other gauges, of course, fuel and whatever. I like it, and I think it's sensible and just, you know, offers some nice contrast. So anyway, my thoughts for what it's worth. If it feels like there's no windshield here at all, that's because it's so clean, number one. But number two, I also talked about in the walk around video that this windshield has been replaced not terribly long ago. So this is a brand new fresh piece of glass, so it has no chips or nicks or flaws or wiper streaks or anything like that in it. Once again, another good thing for a first-time driver to have ultimate visibility. But anyway, it is newer, and it's nice, and it's crystal clear, but also because it was just super detailed. The gas tank, the fuel tank is full, by the way, or almost full. That needle has barely moved. The car's been running for quite some time today while doing pictures and in the other video. And it's only been driven a little bit since being filled full, but that gauge just barely moves. That's one of the nice things about a great fuel mileage vehicle, right? The city rating is 22 for this car. Let me consult my notes and make sure. Yeah, 22 for the city rating, 30 for the highway rating. So I've mentioned that 30 number several times, but I usually do talk more about the highway rating, because that's where people like to know what kind of fuel mileage as a measure of how good the car is on gas, on fuel. This is only 150 horsepower, this 2.4 liter engine, but you're going to see that it does just fine. We're approaching the freeway. We're going to get on the freeway and get up to some speed here, and it does just fine. You know, it's not a race car. It's not as fast as that Audi in front of us, but you know what? It gets the job done. It's economical. It's sensible, and there's no need for really much more. Also, real quick before we get on here, or as we get on here, I mentioned on the walk around video, I want to make sure that everybody knows and understands this is the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. There was also a Chrysler engine around this time period. There was a 2.7 liter 6-cylinder that had a terrible reputation, that was in 300Ms and Concords, and I don't think it was ever in the Stratus, but what was the other car? The convertible Sebring cars and convertibles. Anyway, that engine has a terrible, look how easy it was to get up to speed, 65 miles an hour already. That engine has a terrible reputation for water pump problems and coolant problems and plastic intake problems. That is not what is in this car. So again, I'm bringing it up just to make sure that people don't think that or if you do, you've heard, but you don't really know which is which. The 2.7 liter is the bad one, and that is not what's in this car. This is the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, completely different, and this engine has a very good reputation. Does not have the reputation like that 2.7 liter 6-cylinder. So anyway, kicking up a little bit here, 69, 70 miles per hour right there. Here we are at 70 miles per hour, cruising nice and smooth. Tachometer is at 2,600 RPMs at 70 miles per hour down the freeway, or 72, 73 miles per hour. Very, very nice and smooth. And I have just turned on and engaged the cruise control, and you can see the green cruise word right there. So the cruise control is set, and we are cruising, and I don't have my feet on the pedals, just to show you that that works. And very easy, like I mentioned, with the controls on the steering wheel, very easy to use cruise control as well. I'm going to turn that off because I don't like to video with the cruise control on. But it works. On the subject of working, I don't think I've said it yet on this video, and I don't think it's as important as on the other video, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Everything works on this car for the most part, including the cruise control, the horn, the lights, the wipers, heat and air conditioning, all the speeds of the blower motor, radio, everything works except the power windows on the passenger side. So these two power windows on the passenger side do not work. They most likely need power window motors replaced, and that is something that you can tackle yourself when this is your vehicle. The driver's side one works. This window works perfectly and just fine, and so does the one behind me on the driver's side. So both driver's side ones work fine, but passenger side ones do not. And those are the only two items that do not work on the vehicle. We're cruising nicely at 74 right now, 74 miles per hour. It's very smooth. I think it's very quiet for a car that I would categorize as economical. It's definitely not a compact or a subcompact, but it's an economical size car, and it's very quiet. Once again, I think the seat, at least for my size and structure, I am 6'1", about 180 pounds, and the seat is perfectly comfortable for me. I have about 3 or 4 additional inches of headroom above my head. I have plenty of leg room, as you can see here. I've got this leg kicked up here. This is how I like to drive. I am very comfortable in this car, and I like it, and I think it's smooth and nice and comfortable. And the seat really is just really, really comfortable. And when we get to the bottom of this exit ramp, I'm going to show you the material of the seat, because that was something I touched on earlier, and I talked about in my walk around video. We're going to exit right here, and then we're going to turn around and go back the same way that we just came. So if you've seen enough or whatever, you can certainly turn me off, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to go right back the way we just came, and then that'll be about it after that. I appreciate your watching, your views, and your comments. Please leave your comments, suggestion, and your subscription. Well, don't leave your subscription, but subscribe, and then leave a comment, please. Yeah, so while we're stopped at this red light, this material, this cloth or this fabric, real thick, like the pattern, and it's very, very enduring and lasting. I've never seen a Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth product with this kind of type of material that was used in this time period with rips or tears or imperfections in it, because it's nice and thick and durable, you know. And unfortunately, as vehicles get newer, generally the material just gets cheaper and cheaper. But yeah, so I do like this fabric. I think it's comfortable. It's nice and thick. It's almost like a, I don't know, it's just different. It's just different than, it's almost like a felt. It's nice and soft to the touch. So easy to clean too, and durable for the purposes of cleaning as well, if you have kids or something. Back seat is pretty roomy in this car. Has the child seat anchors in the back, ISOFIX. There we are, 55. We're not even up the entire on-ramp just yet. 60. I'm barely pushing the pedal also, you guys. I'm not giving it all it's got. Just a nice, smooth, easy acceleration, and we're back on the freeway at 70 miles per hour. So easy peasy. $73,000 miles and under $4,000. What's to think about? Mechanically sound, a nice interior, needs nothing mechanically, has some flaws on the body, but it's a nice car for the money. It's a really nice car for the money. There we are, 75 miles per hour. Handles the bumps nicely on the road, like that bump we just went over on that bridge. I mean, it's a little bumpy, a little bounce, but I mean, it's a $4,000 car, not a $400,000 car. But it's a nice ride overall. Smooth and quiet. It's nice. Steering is effortless in this car. Might be because it has a new power steering rack, but I remember other examples of this car I've driven having easy steering, easy to drive, lightweight. That's kind of a big bump right there too, by the way. That bridge we just went over, that's a big bump no matter what car you're driving. It's a big drop on the other side of the bridge, or the other side of when you cross over that bridge. $77 miles per hour. Look how straight and smooth. Look at no hands on the steering wheel in the center lane on the freeway. Look how straight it goes. Minimal adjustment. Nice and straight. 76, 77 miles per hour. Nice and smooth and straight, ladies and gentlemen. this freeway, or at this exit ramp off the freeway, right where we got on. Once again, everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening to me. If you've watched this all the way through from beginning to end, thanks. And leave your comments, suggestions, subscribe. I think this is a great car for the millionth time I've said it. For the money, I think it's a great car for a first-time driver or an elderly driver. I think the simple, easy-to-use climate radio controls, ease of driving and steering, and size of the vehicle are just perfect for someone in that segment. I mean, I think it's a great car for anybody if this is your budget, but I do think it would be an excellent car for a first-time driver. Low miles, 73,000 miles. It's just crazy low for its age. There's cars that are probably 2 years old that have more mileage than that, probably sitting around us right now at this traffic light. So AC and heat work great. Most everything works except those couple windows on the passenger side that I told you about. And sensible, economical, complete opposite of that thing over there. God. You could buy 25 of these or cars like this for the price of that Tesla Cybertruck that we just saw. I always see one of those making a driving video and always end up making fun of it because I think they're so ridiculous and overpriced. But that's my opinion. Not everybody needs to think like I do. Economical, sensible, low cost of ownership, great fuel mileage. Great car for a first-time driver. Runs and drives great, as you've seen right here on this video right now. Predictable, low cost of ownership that is worth its weight in gold. To be able to know that the car is just going to keep going and going with minimal costs of maintenance and ownership. That's what this car is. That's what this car represents. This is economical and sensible transportation. And it is a good deal. It is a great deal for under $4,000 for 73,000 miles. With all the new parts that it has and everything that it is, this will make a fantastic vehicle for anyone. And with that said, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I appreciate your views and your subscriptions and your comments. Please leave a comment and let me know how this video has helped you, because I like to hear it, I like to read about it, and I like to see it, and I like others to see it. So, all right, everybody, I think that does it. Take a look at my walk around video as well if you'd like to see the inside, outside, and under the hood of this vehicle. Look how nice it shifts, runs, drives, just fantastic. Thanks everybody, and until next time, we'll see you next time. What kind of car? I don't know, but we'll see you next time. Peace everybody, bye-bye.